Wokeness. Capitalism, as an economic system, relies on a social structure of inherent inequality. This structure, which we can understand as a form of social colonization, is organized around class rule and enforced segregation. Its stability depends on creating and maintaining hierarchies based on perceived difference. In this framework, a ruling class that owns the means of production leverages its wealth to subjugate and control the working class. To sustain this power dynamic, the system generates social divisions such as racism, sexism, and discrimination based on ethnicity, gender, and status. These divisions fracture society into polarized groups, ensuring that solidarity across lines of difference is difficult to achieve. For capitalism to function smoothly, society must be organized unequally. Difference must be weaponized to prevent a unified challenge to the class structure. Wokeness emerges as a direct challenge to this organization. Originating in African American vernacular English, to be woke is to be consciously aware of systemic social and racial injustices. It describes a person who is awake to the embedded inequalities within laws, policies, and cultural norms. Wokeness asserts that inequality is not merely a product of individual prejudice, but is woven into the very fabric of the system. A lived reality for the colonized and oppressed, not an abstract theory. Recognizing this challenge, defenders of the status quo have mounted a counteroffensive. Capitalist and conservative elements, seeking to obscure the violent history of colonization and systemic injustice, have developed a lexicon to discredit this awareness. They frame wokeness as an enforced orthodoxy and dismiss its tactics as cancel culture, painting the call for accountability as a form of intolerance. They reduce the analysis of systemic bias to identity politics gone too far and dismiss moral stands as virtue signaling. This rhetorical strategy has a clear function: to individualize systemic failure. By claiming that a person's disability or marginalized identity is no excuse for lack of performance, the system denies the reality of the unequal playing field it has created. It seeks to erase the historical context of colonization and inequality from public education and discourse. In essence, we see a fundamental conflict. Proponents of wokeness advocate for a commitment to justice and equity by exposing the system's foundational inequalities, while critics, often from a right-wing conservative perspective, deny the very existence and legacy of that colonizing structure. The debate over wokeness is not just a culture war. It is a battle over the historical narrative and the very legitimacy of the current social and economic order. Ironically, we should debate the source of discrimination and inequality at a time the great empire sweetly collapses.